A deadly weekend in the skies. 7 people killed in 2 separate crashes. Both aircraft took off here in the valley. We begin tonight with a plane that took off from Henderson this morning.
Yeah, on board, a father, his daughter, and her husband, also their 9-year-old little girl, all of them killed when the plane crashed in Southern California. News 3's Gabby Hart spoke with the grieving widow, having to say goodbye to much of her family. An unbelievable story, Gabby.
Yeah, in an emotional interview, Gerard, Joyce Hastings says that her worst nightmare came true today, and she's still trying to come to terms with the fact that she lost so much of her family in just one day. She says that her husband, 65-year-old Tom Hastings, actually built the plane himself. He flew into Las Vegas to meet her this weekend, along with her 27-year-old daughter, Amber Hill, her son-in-law, 25-year-old Jacob Hill, and their 9-year-old daughter, Madison Hastings-Saxelby. She says they left Las Vegas from Henderson Airport at 10 a.m. this morning. She stayed behind at the Rio Hotel and had plans to meet them tomorrow back home in California. But when she didn't hear from her family by noon, she says she began to panic. And she says the first time that she learned about the deadly crash was on Google.
He always calls me when he lands. He didn't call. So I was starting to worry about that. Well, maybe they went to lunch, you know, because they didn't have breakfast before they left. And so I left message. All the phones went to voicemail. And I thought, so by 2 o'clock I was really worried. So the lady that was sitting next to me looked up Google News and said there was a plane crash, and there was a picture, and she zoomed in on it, and I knew it was our plane, and it said there were no survivors, but I figured it must be right, because if there were survivors they would have called me.
And Joyce says the NTSB has been in touch with her. So far, though, there's no word on what caused the crash. Joyce says that her husband had a passion for flying, and he had years of experience doing so. Tomorrow, her son plans to pick her up from Las Vegas, and they plan to drive back to California to the site of the crash. Of course, we'll keep you updated on this story with the details as we get them. For now, I'm reporting live from Henderson Airport. Gabby Hart, News 3.
Gabby, thank you so much for that. Just a tragic thing for that family to have to deal with. This, of course, is a developing story. We'll continue to follow it tomorrow morning on News 3 Today, starting at 4:30.